TV8. This is a breaking news alert.
And hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Sterling.
I'm Amber Crisco. We have a lot to get to, but first we start with another shooting on Grand Rapids Southeast side.
Within the last hour, we learned from the chief of police that one person has died. News 8's Katani Gooch live at the scene tonight for us. Katani, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Brian, we just talked to Chief Eric Winstrom, and he told us that initially officers were responding to a traffic crash. I'm going to step aside so you can see that crash right there. This is the car that they responded to, and upon getting there, they had to break open the window to get to the suspect, and that's when they discovered that he had a gunshot wound. And the crash that they heard, they said that they talked to witnesses and thought that maybe that could have been a gunshot or multiple gunshots. They said one witness said that they for sure heard one gunshot loud and clear. They attempted life-saving measures on that young man, but unfortunately, he did lose his life. Chief Winstrom did say that that male could have been anywhere from late teens to early 20s. And as you can see, this is a very large scene that they have here. The car is still here. They still have at least 10 to 12 units out here. The forensic units is also out here. We're at the intersection of Kalamazoo and Hall Street Southeast, but the perimeter goes way beyond that. It's all the way down to Cromwell and Hall Street, and even further down Kalamazoo a little bit, and even on Butler. So if you're driving around this area, just try to avoid, because the scene is still active. We're not sure how long they're going to be out here. But as I said, I did speak to Chief Winstrom, just talking about the amount of shootings that have been happening here in Grand Rapids. Listen to what he had to say.
This is the 13th murder that we've had in the city of Grand Rapids this year. That puts us year to date last year at the same number. That's not progress. We're now looking at statistically the same. We need to head in the right direction.
Yeah, so a lot of this information is preliminary. We're still learning a lot. We don't know what led up to this or who the suspect was, or even if there are multiple suspects. We do know that a suspect isn't in custody, or if anybody else was hurt, or if even any other houses were hit. They're door knocking right now, kind of combing through the scene with a fine-tooth comb, because it is dark and it is late, and so they're just trying to make sure they get everything they can right now. But as he just said, this is the 13th murder here in Grand Rapids. We know that just yesterday there was an exchange of gunfire with police literally a couple of blocks from here. Umatilla and Madison is a couple blocks from here, as well as Wealthy Street, where there was a shooting just last night. I know you guys are going to talk a little bit more about that at the studio, so I'll send it back to you guys for now. Live in Grand Rapids, Katani Gooch, News 8.
No, you're exactly right, Katani. The chief echoing the concerns that the violence seems to be picking up in intensity. Thank you for that live report. And again, as we've mentioned, it is the latest shooting, a wave of violence that has racked the city since early September.
Yeah, on September 2nd, a 41-year-old man was killed near the intersection of Diamond and Wealthy on the city's southeast side. 4 days later, a 23-year-old man was shot and killed near McKay-Jaycees Park at 28th and Kalamazoo. Then in early October, a 17-year-old was shot and killed on Umatilla Street following a vigil for another shooting at that location a year earlier.
And then, as Katani was alluding to, this month, in a shooting last week, a 26-year-old was shot and killed and found in Easttown. Yesterday, police looking for suspects in a gun theft exchanged shots with a young man who was then arrested. There were no injuries there. But later in the night, another shooting in the same general area. And now tonight's shooting death. Police are not saying that these shootings are related or retaliatory in nature. Coming up a little later tonight, we are going to be taking a little bit more of an in-depth look at yesterday's exchange of gunfire between police and that 18-year-old suspect.
And we'll also show you how one local organization in Grand Rapids is trying to tackle youth violence by getting young adults involved in their community.